The Oracle Network.
We're all in this together. We're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Dinner was full!
Ah, yeah. You checked our shitters, honey?
Clark.
Happy holidays and welcome to Brew Crime, the podcast where we drink beer, talk crime, conspiracies, or whatever catches our attention. This is Mike and my co-host.
It's me, a JT.
And our two extra co-hosts for this episode.
Brittany!
And Jenny.
Woohoo! All right. Well, today we're not going to do a quiz or anything. We're going to tell a story.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, I'm sure you've heard of the Killdozer, but have you ever heard of the tank rampage in San Diego?
No. The
Can't say
Killdozer's
that I have.
impressive, though.
Yeah, the Killdozer is impressive. Well, I hope you have not, as this is the story. Let's start the story at the beginning, why don't we? Sean Nelson was born on August 21st, 1959 in Birdseye, Utah. He had two other brothers, and he was the middle kid. They would move to San Diego, California, and it was here that he would graduate high school. After high school, he would enlist in the United States Army, where he would be trained in Kentucky at Fort Knox.
Ooh, Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Land of gold in them hills.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Of course it's the Army. I mean, what? No.
He would end up being sent to serve in West Germany as part of the Army Tank Battalion as part of his 2 years of service. He would have discipline issues in the military, it sounds, but it would end that he'd be honorably discharged in the early parts of the 1980s. So it wasn't so bad, I guess.
Sounds like you got away with enough.
Yeah. 4 years after his service, he would marry his wife, Susie. There's not a lot of mention about her and their marriage, which is kind of unfortunate. I kind of hate when they don't talk about the family at all, but I think they wanted to distance themselves because what's coming up?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it's not a simple Jerry Springer episode, yo.
After his military career, he worked as a plumber to pay the bills.
It's not funny.
Laying pipes.
Laying pipe.
Laying pipe, yep.
Oh my God.
He was quite successful at first, but his life would begin to fall apart in 1988. This was the year his mother died of cancer. 1990 would see his wife file for divorce, but even worse, he would get into a serious motorcycle accident and wreck his back and hurt or break his neck. It kind of varied between the sources. So
Now wait a second. Hold on. There's a wide range of things that can happen between hurt and break.
Yeah.
it was definitely a serious injury, but they kind of went between just like seriously hurt or broke.
It's like that's
Did he become paralyzed?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
That's good. Wasn't too bad a break then.
Yeah. Well,
rub some dirt in it. Get up, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
my brother-in-law has broken his back twice and he can walk, so
Yeah.
not the best sometimes, but he can walk.
Yeah.
Well, we got an X-ray expert
Yeah.
with us here. She's
Yeah,
probably
that's why
seen
I'm
some
like,
stuff.
ooh, was it a hangman's fracture? Nope, you're still alive. Like,
He would try and sue the hospital, stating that he didn't consent to the treatment, and then go on to sue the hospital stating negligence, assault, battery, and false imprisonment.
a second.
sounds
Yeah.
mentally stable.
Yep.
Oh.
He was aiming for a payout of $1.6 million, or just over $3.3 million in today's money.
Isn't the entire concept of AMA or against medical advice like you can leave?
Yeah.
Nobody's.
Maybe you
forfeit
can't
all-
when
and
you're...
don't
he
you
might be
forfeit all your
comatose.
rights when you sign that AMA?
Yeah, and insurance refuses to pay, but
Yeah.
there's still the out. However, Mike, I think you were about to make the next point I was going to have.
What's that?
The one that was, but he had possibly broken his neck, so where was he going anyways?
He could have been in a coma. I don't know exactly.
Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way, you know?
True. So not only did that get dismissed, the hospital would then sue him for his hospital bills of $6,640,
That's
which
not
seems
much.
really low.
Yeah, it really
What
does.
is it, a Tylenol? Like,
Box of tissues.
yeah, probably.
Only in America. Suit, countersuit,
Yeah.
zoot suit.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
They settled out of court.
Yeah, probably. This all makes me think that he had no medical insurance and could not afford the medical bills, and it was a Hail Mary to get off of paying the bills.
It was a hail something, my friend.
Yeah, no doubt. Also, just over $6,000 seems so cheap for those injuries in the U.S. It's free here, but
You see that? You see? Listen,
Rub
the
it
deal.
in. Rub it in.
don't, because that's
Here
extra
in
money.
America, we have to decide, do we want health insurance or do we want to pay our rent for the month? But, you know, we got a good thing going.
yeah.
Do we?
Don't worry, we can't afford our rent anyways here.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
No.
This accident, though, would lead to a methamphetamine and alcohol dependency. So things are going great.
That's about right. See, they take care of you, they get you hooked, then they bill you,
Yeah.
then you're poor and you can't afford the habit, and then you
Yeah.
This
And then
is
it's, fuck
this-
off.
you know, there's a theme
This
here
is
where
right around Purdue Pharma time.
Yeah.
I feel like in each one of these Happy Holidays episodes, I say, "Tale as old as time."
Yeah.
I like your Disney reference.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's appreciated.
The hits would keep coming, as in 1992, his father would also die of cancer.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. At this point, he had taken on a roommate to try and make a go of keeping the house. He also started to exhibit mental health issues, likely tied into substance abuse.
You don't
Just
say.
now? Yeah, I'm like, just now.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Jenny was just waiting for that moment. She's just waiting for that. You don't say.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Really? Really?
He would become obsessed with minerals in the ground and would dig up a 15-foot mine in his backyard.
Are we talking like
It's just a big hole.
expensive minerals, or he was just interested in just
No, he thought there was like gold and stuff. Yeah. Silver and gold.
Oh, yes.
This is a quote.
That reminds me of the Girl Scout song, Silver and Gold.
I don't know that one.
I don't either, but
Well,
I like
you're not a Girl Scout, so that works. But
Nope.
I don't know. It had something to do with friends, but
I
I
was a
forget
Girl
now.
Scout once. Okay.
I
I
had
wasn't.
2 girls in my cub group, but whatever. A long time ago.
I was gonna say
It's been a
I
long
can't
time.
see it. I just
I
feel
make
like
the
you've always
weirdest-
been a bear. I don't
Oh my. So this is a quote. He was kind of obsessed with the idea he had minerals in his yard, a neighbor said. He installed a hot water heater for me and talked about mineral rights. He was going to sell his house for $1 million because he had all the gold and oil in his yard. I thought he was a little odd, a little kooky, but he was a nice man and he gave me a nice price.
you know, if it comes down to price,
Yeah.
you'll
True.
put up with a lot of shit.
So moving to 1994, his plumbing tools were stolen from his truck and he was broke due to his substance abuse issues and lack of work, and his utilities would be shut off. At some point, Sean had a girlfriend who moved into the house, but she would leave in April of 1995 when the bank foreclosed on the house.
So wait. So she was in a relationship with him. He didn't have a job.
Yep.
He was all about the minerals.
Yep.
And the drugs.
Yep.
And it was only the foreclosure was the line she drew.
Yeah, there was no more roof over her head. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that is a good line to draw. But I mean, in terms of behavior, fascinating.
Yeah. So he definitely had a bit of a bad streak here, but things would turn bad on May 17th, 1995. He had recently told friends of his thoughts of suicide and commented on the fact that Oklahoma was good stuff. This would have been in response to the Oklahoma City bombing that happened on April 19th, 1995, an attack set up by Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols. Yeah.
When you first brought up Oklahoma was good stuff, I was like, does that mean something? Where
yeah.
are we go? Is that a style of like something I don't want to know about? Or wow, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so his mental state was not good, and on the day, May 17th, he would drive into the California Army National Guard Armory in Kearney Mesa, San Diego. He was driving his van, and there were no guards at the gate, and it was wide open.
When
It's like a perfect time.
Yeah,
Yeah. What was the year on this again? Tell me.
1995.
That's
Were you
fucking
there?
ridiculous. No, I'm just
Okay.
trying to figure out the level of security and whether that made sense for the
Yeah.
time. It does
Mhm.
not.
This was odd, as the base usually closed before the 6:30 time Sean arrived. He would have been able to make his way in regardless, as it sounds like there was a hole in the fence in the barbed wire at the top, so they didn't bother to fix it.
He didn't even have to be that committed.
No.
Like, at least make them committed.
He would use bolt cutters that he had brought with him to break into 3 tanks. The third one would start, and off he would go, driving the tank through the fence.
What? Okay.
Was he high when he did this?
Oh,
I
probably.
just want to know his mental state. Okay.
Oh, well, we know where his mental state is.
He was, well, shit shrooms do a lot.
Luckily, military personnel would finally notice what was happening, and while they couldn't personally do anything to stop him, they did call the police.
This isn't a drill.
No.
That tank should not be moving.
Imagine calling your local sheriff, being like, "Hi, there's a tank. Can you pull them over?"
This is the army. There's a tank.
Yeah.
Can you get him, please?
This is the army calling the public.
Yeah.
We can't stop them.
Can you do something?
Oh, man. That's a lot like what happened in Richmond. Jenny, I don't know if you were here for that when the tank went driving down Broad Street.
Oh, God.
What?
All right, we're going to have to talk about that later. That's a
Different story. They also informed the police that he had no ammunition, as it was stored securely in a separate building, so at least he couldn't shoot anyone.
that we know of.
Well, not many people carry around the munitions for a tank. The tank he managed to steal was an M60A3, an upgrade to the M60 tank that was developed in 1959, and they are still in use to today, which is kind of amazing.
That is not a joke of a tank.
No.
How did you Google it that quick? I'm here trying to look it up. Jeez.
This version of the tank was developed in 1976 and would come out in the early 1980s and would weigh a whopping 57 U.S. tons or 51 metric tons. So it's heavy.
I think you mean 51 tons that everybody else considers tons.
Yeah. It's called a
in
metric
this
ton.
world.
Let's just say the police had no match for this tank, and while Sean went on his rampage, driving through San Diego, all they could do was build a ring around the tank, trying to keep other people and cars away from him.
Well, I mean, that's the old childhood classic. Ring around the tank. That's how that
Yeah.
works, right?
If you watch the video of it, though, you can see him smash cars, power poles, lampstands. Well, the tank could only go 30 miles per hour or 48 kilometers an hour. Nothing could stop it. So he was able to smash over 40 cars. One car had a mother and a daughter, but luckily they only sustained minor injuries. He would try to ram into a pedestrian bridge that went over the highway that he was driving on. So he headed off further on the highway. The police were trailing him, and he decided to try to cross to the other side of the highway. It would be here that the joyride would finally come to an end, as the tank would get stuck on the concrete barrier between the two sides of the highway.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's the best response ever.
The police were unsure what to do, as they were on the phone with the military to find a way to stop the tank before he killed anyone, right?
Ideally.
How the fuck do you stop a tank when you've got, some ARs or something? I don't know.
I mean, Jaws, right? I just see the sheriff turn to his deputy and go, "We're going to need a bigger tank."
Yeah. From the many police cars, 4 officers would climb onto the roof of the tank. One of these officers just happened to also be in the Marine Reserves and had worked on tanks in his past. He'd been sent in special to try to deal with the crisis because he kind of knew how tanks worked.
Yeah, but I think my next door neighbor knows how tanks work, though.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
I'd send him in.
He would have some bolt cutters on him, and he would cut open a hatch. They would demand Sean's surrender, but he would only try and get his tank moving again, although now he had destroyed one of the tracks, and he wouldn't be going anywhere.
Can I just tell you, in my head, I'm seeing this dude who cut open the hash. He's like, surrender now. And he's like, fuck you. And he just starts turning the head of the tank around. And the guy's just holding on like, what the fuck?
Ah!
This is how my head works, y'all.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's a well-oiled tank.
With Sean not surrendering, one of the officers shot him in the right shoulder. He would be sent to the hospital, but in the end, it would be a fatal shot. There was some speculation he may have been driving the tank to the hospital that he and his parents were treated at, but there'd be no way to corroborate that with Sean now being dead.
Little difficult. I'm gonna have to call in Sally, the psychic.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson's brother Scott told reporters Thursday, "The man who died yesterday was only a shell of the person we loved. The real Sean died 2 years ago at the hands of drugs and alcohol. We are very sorry for all the damage done and very thankful that no one was hurt." In the end, the state would pay damages of $149,209, in today's money, $267,272, to cover the property damage caused by the tank Rampage as the security of the armory falls to the state.
I'm almost kind of disappointed he didn't. Like, I'm not disappointed he didn't do more. I'm disappointed at the low number of damage. Like, I feel like if you bust up 40 plus cars, it should be higher. But I mean, I guess the government was using Blue Book.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
fine.
know, probably. But yeah, that's the story of the tank Rampage in San Diego.
I wonder if they had, like, if you could make a car insurance claim off of a tank ran over my car.
I'm sure you must be able to. It's still a vehicle accident.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but my husband got hit by a tank. He like, wait,
Oh my.
Wait.
not physically.
I'm proud of you for like holding on to that one until just now.
Yeah.
Like he was reversing, and they said he hit them, where he's like, no, they hit me, and
Yeah.
basically because it's a military vehicle, yeah, it was pay for your own damage
Oh,
and
fun.
thank you for your service. Like, it was
Oh,
bullshit.
no. Oh, jeez, that's bullshit.
Yeah. I was like, you didn't see a tank? He's like, there was no tank. Me.
There was no tank.
Nice. All right.
There is no spoon. There was no tank.
Exactly.
Just snorted, Jesus.
Well, thanks for tuning in to this Hoppy Holiday episode. If you've enjoyed it and you're enjoying the series so far, please go to whatever podcast app you use and leave us a review. And 5 stars or whatever they have on there. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you often find that you need a distraction from everyday life?
Do you like true crime, conspiracy theories, paranormal stories, and other weird, dark tales?
Well, tune in and turn up Weird Distractions Podcast, where we, your hosts, Christy
And Alex.
bring you a weird distraction to help you get through the work week.
Every Sunday morning, you can find our show on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Good Pods, and more.
So, grab a snack, get comfy.
And make sure to lock those doors. Need a distraction? We got you.